So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Venus-Rahu conjunction through houses. Well, of course, it's going to be the first house today. I was thinking of doing all the houses of Venus and Rahu in one video, but then I'm like, if I really, really wanted to, I can make this video half an hour long, 40 minutes long. So that's impossible, even with one video. But yeah, Venus-Rahu conjunction today. And if you want to know where your Venus and Rahu are placed, along with all your astrological details, check out the links here, Astrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and a link to my academy, Maghavid Astrology Academy, where I've currently uploaded a new video on Vastu course, including my wristwatch and wealth course, and of course, the BNN course that you will pretty much easiest thing ever in the world in terms of understanding astrology. And so, yeah. Venus and Rahu. Interesting position. Very interesting position. See, what is Venus? Venus is wealth, money, opportunity, marriage, relationships, wife, girlfriend, females. Venus is negotiations. Venus is actually law. Venus is revival. Bringing something dead to life. That's Venus. Okay. Venus is lineage. It's not really your lineage. It is the lineage of existence, right? It's the lineage of existence, because without DNA, we cannot exist here. We cannot be humans. So Venus shows where we're coming from. Okay, because Venus is DNA, Venus is sperm, Venus is the ovaries. So it has certain DNA programming. God, isn't that amazing technology? The liquid has all the information to create the best computer, and microscopic. Imagine how intelligent God is. Microscopic. CPU and memory and everything that creates everything. Wow. Gives me chills. Venus is negotiations and law, as I said. Along with, of course, Ketu as well, and Saturn. Then Rahu, right? Misunderstood planet Rahu. Rahu is a savior. Rahu is a protector. Rahu is the activist. Rahu is the one who wants to fight for nature. Loves nature. Because remember, Vahara Avatar, the avatar of Rahu, saved Earth from underwater, brought it out, let it rest for a week before it can go back to doing its spinning and creating life. So what does that tell you about Rahu? Is that Rahu wants to protect nature. It's all about, being a, what do you call it? There's a specific word for it. I just can't think of right now. Environmentalist. Yeah. And so with Venus and Rahu, I mean, like I said, I can make this so long. I'm trying to figure out how to condense it. So the first thing that you will see is that when you go out in the world, go out with a drum. Don't sneak outside and be shy. Go out with a drum beating that I'm here. You're going to do activism? Go to the Congress and stand in front of Congress and say something about activism. Right? When you're going to go out and do something, do it in a big way. Now, the only time you don't want to do something in a big way right in the beginning is if your Saturn is with Rahu, meaning Saturn is in the 7th house Saturn is with Ketu. If Saturn is in the 7th house with Ketu, then you want to be careful of going out there and just starting your work in a very big way. But when Venus is with Rahu, okay, you shouldn't be shy. That's what I'm trying to say, of looking the best. You should feel proud when you wear name brand things. You should feel proud when you wear pure silk. You should feel proud when you have the latest things with you. Especially for women on Friday, start wearing silk, pure silk top or something. Maybe wear a scarf. You will see how it starts improving your money. Venus, Rahu, and the Ascendant for men, carry a pure silk handkerchief. It's going to start helping with money. Venus, Rahu obviously shows that the wife is going to be very strong personality, will get angry very quickly, will be quite rebellious because, again, she's going to be all about protecting her lineage, protecting her image, protecting where she comes from. You'll see she'll always be very proudful of where she comes from, what her lineage is, what her grandfather did, what her father did. And the other thing with Venus and Rahu, especially when Rahu is in front of Venus in a man's chart, okay, you will feel confused about what you should do in life, or you become a vagabond. You could be a genius at one thing, but you don't get the opportunity to make that money. Nobody recognizes you. There's this veil in front of everybody's eyes about you. What happens is, the moment you get married, that's when everything starts. That's when everything starts. The moment you just get married, things will just expand for you. Now, the only thing is, the only conundrum that becomes very active here is that when Saturn is in the 7th house with Ketu, you will have fear with marriage. You will have this feeling of being stuck, that I don't want to take the responsibility of the marriage. I don't think I'm ready. You'll always say that, I don't think I'm ready. Then that becomes a problem. And that is you. There's no remedy. There's no gemstones that's going to suddenly change your mind. Unless some progression happens, something happens, it's you who have to make that decision. And I'm just saying only when Saturn is in the 7th house. The other thing with Venus and Rahu, you want to make money. Remember, you're the product. The more people see you, the more people notice you, the more people get to know you, the more people are influenced by you, okay, follow you, the more money you're going to make. Whether it's a job or business, all the business is going to be much more lucid, and it's going to be much more of a free, or it'll have much more freedom to do what you want to do with this. Where in a job, you could be restricted of how you do what you do. But Venus Rahu shows, like, if you have Venus Rahu in the ascendant, even if you're a plumber, go out there and start doing podcasts about plumbing. Start making videos about how to fix this, how to fix that. You will see how you gather the crowd there. You know why? Because you're using that Rahu. You're showing people that, look, come to me, I'll protect you. Come to me, I'll revive you. How will you protect it, people, as a plumber? Look, don't waste your money doing this. Let me save you money how to do this in a very simple way. What did you do? You're protecting people from not losing their money. You're reviving something. With this Venus Rahu, try to revive something. Try to revive some old way of cooking something, old way of manifesting something, old way of making something. Because when you revive it, it'll spread like wildfire. Because Venus is with Rahu. But one of the things that we see with Venus and Rahu together is that, yes, a person can be a genius when they go towards some form of new technology. Because what is Rahu? Rahu is now internet, social media, cryptocurrency, Wi-Fi, AI, virtual reality, hologram. You know, the hologram technology is Rahu. You have Venus Rahu and you're doing computer engineering. Please focus on hologram technology. Focus on the VR technology. Now, of course, depending upon nakshatra, it can show that you need to invent something, or you will invent something. Or some nakshatra will say, okay, whatever that has been created, you have to preserve it. Or some nakshatra Venus Rahu will say, you will come into the market, you will come into the world, destroy whatever is here, so there's something new that can be revived, something new that can come about. So those things will depend on the type of nakshatra Venus might be in. But one of the things, like I say, when you go out, and even if you're, let's say, just starting to work, whatever you have to wear, you have to wear. But always save money on the side, so slowly you can replace your wardrobe with good quality clothes. It doesn't have to be even name brand. It has to be the best quality out there. It has to be something that is sturdy, long lasting. And please, for God's sake, with Venus Rahu in the ascendant, don't wear ribbed clothes, ribbed jeans, ribbed t-shirts. You think it's fashion because you saw that on a catwalk of some model. And now they're showing up in the mall, and kind of like, some of those Yeezy clothes, Kanye West clothes that looks like, sometimes he looks like a homeless person. And it's supposed to be the most expensive clothing. It's bad. Because you're degrading your Venus's quality. when you do that. Okay. Maybe that's why, because Kanye West was wearing all those type of clothes that were ripped and all that, his reputation went from top to bottom. Okay. Sure, it may not go to zero, but whatever you have seen has happened with him in the past year, it's because of when I see him wearing certain type of things, I'm like, why? Why? Because you're damaging your Venus. It damages your marriage, especially when Venus is with Rahu. Don't do it as in terms of a fashion thing, that something is ripped, like ripped jeans and ripped back and sides are ripped on the t-shirt, but it's fashionable. No, wear the best elegant clothes. Like I was watching this documentary on the Gilded Age, and it is amazing when you even see poor people, whether they were blacks, whether they were whites, whether they were Italians, everybody, women and men, just dressed up so dignified. So dignified. It's like you want to know these people. You want to be friends with these people. They had class. That was like that true Venetian, time period where people knew how to dress properly. No matter what stage of life they were. If they were making 50 cents a day, they still had very just elegant clothes. And especially with Venus and Rahu, like I said, you're being watched by the world. You're being watched by everything in the ascendant. So don't make mistakes of wearing just bad ripped clothes. Like, for example, let's say if you're about to leave the house, you were eating and now you have like my t-shirt will always have that. Well, I'll always have dog hair. So whenever you see my dirty t-shirt, that's what's going to happen when you have 7 dogs. I can never get away with that. But especially with this position, if you were eating something dropped, change that clothes. And when you go out with the best clothes possible. The other thing with Venus and Rahu, naturally a person want to sculpt their body. They're going to want to work out. They're going to want to keep themselves in shape. After a certain age, you will see such people will also get Botox, plastic surgery, facelift, any kind of like a body lift. Because again, Rahu is artificial, right? AI. But this person, to keep themselves youthful, they can use that artificialness to look best. And that's fine. There's no judgment there. How many multimillionaires, billionaires do that? It's not degrading their Venus. They keep getting richer because you're improving something. You're trying to improve something. Now, of course, we also know, I forgot the name of this guy who just wants to stay young. Is trying his hard to look young and stay young. And I feel like he kind of looks like a plastic robot when I see him. But my whole thing is why? Why do you want to live long? How long do you want to deal with this, Maya? How long are you going to deal with these ups and downs in your life you want to deal with that for the next 200 years? No. I would never, even if I had that technology to reverse your aging and stay young, I would never reveal it. I'm like, no, people just, you got to go to the better area of this universe. Okay. Trying to make like a bad home into something lavish will never happen until you tear it all down. But again, I'm digressing. But see, this Venus and Rahu energy will do that. And also, when you marry, go make a big deal about it. Don't be afraid of having a nice wedding. Don't be afraid of having a lavish wedding. Now, if let's say Saturn is with Ketu in the 7th, not trine, in the 7th with Ketu, then you want to do medium. You don't need to do that big of a celebration. But have a beautiful small wedding. That's what you should do. If you do have Ketu with Saturn. And people who are already in the course will know why Saturn Ketu I'm saying this. But if you don't, then yes, even as a middle class person, just go out there and have a most beautiful, lavish looking wedding for that budget that you have. That's what I'm saying. This is that one placement. Don't shy away from showing the world who you are, showing, like, those people who say, oh my God, everybody's now showing off on social media and they have no brains, this and that. And yet, those people who are they scrutinizing, they're doing really well in life. They're buying $1 million home. Why? Because they probably have the alignment to go out and show off and earn from it. Let them earn. You focus on yourself. People were probably saying the same thing back in the 1930s when television came about. Oh my God, look at the youth now. They're watching this box and they're watching. It's never going to end. It's a never ending thing. And especially Venus Rahu. I mean, you're looking at somebody who can be genius in aerospace, somebody who can be genius in, new type of AI vehicle designing. So especially if your Mercury is somehow connected with Mars, or Mercury is also mixed in this with Venus, Mercury, Rahu. I mean, go out there and yes, get yourself a computer engineering degree and learn the specific thing that you want to learn. Like I told you, hologram technology, VR, aerospace, vehicles. You master that with this, you'll be the next Elon Musk. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Venus and Rahu in the ascendant. And remember, I'm full now. I'm full with my subscribers here. So if you do want to subscribe to me, I'm going to have a link to fill out an application. And I don't know, maybe it's a 30, 40, 50-day process. And when I look at your application and I see it, then I will tell you yes and no. Okay, you can subscribe. But right now I'm full. I'm good. Okay. So yeah. But you can go to kairosastrology.com and get a reading. Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.